This is Thirsty for Knowledge Thursdays. It is a weekly webinar series that is brought to you by the Aries Foundation for Financial Education, Inc. I want to make sure that you have boarded the right flight for this evening. Tonight we are doing inclusion and diversity. That's steps and ways an employer can hire individuals who are differently abled or have a disability. We are very excited to have with us the Perkins School for the Blind, their CareerLaunch program.
My name is Alicia Smith, and I'm the Associate Director of Training for CareerLaunch at Perkins.
My name is Dina Chris. I'm the Associate Director of Recruitment and Admissions for CareerLaunch at Perkins. We've now launched the program about a year ago, and we're excited to talk about it and talk about this entire giant issue of disability employment and inclusion tonight. So CareerLaunch was created out of the idea that there's a major problem in the blind and visually impaired community. Among those that are able to work, if you break it out, that statistic is 70% of adults who are blind and visually impaired and able to work are unemployed. So we wanted to really tackle that specific issue, and our program was developed with the idea that if we can provide real-world job skills along with job readiness training and very intensive customized career support, we could help with that problem. So the way that we do it is a combination of very intensive full-time training followed by long and collaborative career services support.
One last piece of fun with everything, there are drinks on this flight. So we like to say, have a cold one to go along with us.
There are about 57 million people in the US who have a disability. Obviously that means a lot of things. 19.3% of people with a disability were unemployed in 2019. 73% of people believe that a person who is blind can hold a job, but only 28% of those people think a person who is blind could do their job. So it speaks to lack of understanding of how someone with a disability could actually do someone's job. And diversity in the workplace benefits everyone. So if you think about not only from a corporate culture standpoint, that there's a lot of research that shows that when you have a diverse and inclusive workplace, you retain your employees better, you have overall higher morale at your company. It also benefits the product. So the more diverse voices you have, the more that your product is able to be relatable to and accessible to everyone. When a corporate culture has diversity and inclusion, every single person in that company feels more valued.
With this new work from home lifestyle, the more disabled individuals can be employed.
1,000 times yes. So one of the biggest barriers to employment for adults living with disabilities is transportation. So being able to work from home is going to be a huge benefit to this community because you're taking out that commuting barrier.
That would mean people who are disabled actively seeking employment have an 81% unemployment rate.
Correct.
Okay, so what's getting in the way?
So I think that there are sometimes these beliefs that could be getting in the way, whether they are founded in actual reality, or if they're just maybe on the part of the hiring managers, HR professionals. But one barrier that gets in the way is not knowing, or this idea that you don't even know how to reach people with disabilities. Oh, people with disabilities don't apply to this job. Well, you're not looking hard enough. I think companies have a bit of a misunderstanding about workplace accommodations. Workplace accommodations are a guarantee by law that employers need to have in place for employees who require them. And so there may be some not understanding how it works, thinking it might be expensive.
Right, as an employer, you need to have them in place anyway, regardless of whether you have somebody who's hired with a disability or not. All right, and this is what I mentioned with the perception, not reality, right? Mm-hmm. So this comes from the Society of Human Resource Management, and it's really They did a whole research and a whole project behind how hiring managers and HR managers look at individuals who are differently abled or have a disability.
I'll admit these are pretty big solutions, and the first one, create an inclusive workplace and company culture. That in itself is a huge undertaking. Even the first impression that somebody gets of your company, they probably look at the job posting and then they check out the website. So is that accessible to everybody? Can they access that website or that job application? You know, what sort of opinions are they forming from there? The way to start creating this inclusive workplace and company culture is really to talk with the current employees there. Everybody should be able to feel comfortable to be their self at work and be at their best.
And so thinking about not only sort of representation and the welcome, how much you're welcoming folks via imagery and wording on your website, also making sure that the use of that website has that same welcoming tone.
So this is 5 ways to sort of improve inclusivity for individuals with a disability.
We're not telling anyone they should hire someone who can't do work. We're telling people that they need to rethink how that work should be done.
If you are interested in learning more about CareerLaunch, there are several ways to get involved. And also, when we're talking about diversity and inclusion as it relates to disability employment, making partnerships with organizations like us at CareerLaunch and many others who are doing great work, really partnering with these disability-related organizations to find talent is a great way to start.
So one of the things that ties into that, which is October, is National Disability Employer Awareness Month. And so ways that you as an employer, your organization, your company, your business can get involved, volunteering or, you know, reaching out to CareerLaunch, as Alicia said. So how you can get a hold of the CareerLaunch. So they're CareerLaunch@perkins.org. If you have questions for them, you want to reach out, you want to volunteer, that's how you can reach out to them to start the conversation.